Hello everybody, Ghostblade 1062 here with another rolling stock review. Today we are looking at a 3-pack of HO scale Rivarossi Fals 164 type self-unloading dump cars in the Deutsche Bahn brown paint scheme from Era 5, so meaning 1990 to 2007. And now, onto the unboxing. Alright, taking a look at the box, we have our clear plastic front window where we can get a first bit of a glance at the 3 dump cars. In the top left, we have the Rivarossi logo. On the left, bottom, and top of the box we have the logo as well. And then on the right side of the box we have some product information, starting with the product barcode. Then we have the product ID, this being HR6520. It is a Deutsche Bahn AG 3-piece self-unloading dump car set of the car type Fals 164 in the brown paint, Era 5. And then on the back of the box, we see that Rivarossi is a sub-branch of Hornby. We also have our age restriction warning and Rivarossi's website. And now, opening up the box, we have the cars sitting in jewel cases. If I can. And if. There we go. One, two, and 3. And looking at the jewel cases themselves, all in all fairly plain. We see the same information as the back of the box on the back of the jewel case. And then on the left side of the box we have product information again. This one being mostly the same with the exception of having the product ID of each of the individual cars. So we have HR6520-3, we have -1 and -2 as well. And we have the individual road numbers, so -3 is 31 80 6657 424-1. And we also have a little baggie here with hooks for hooking up chains for lifting the car, as well as the couplers included. And here's the first car. Three 1-80665-7424-1. Now onto the second car. And again, we have the same little baggie with the same parts. This is HR6520-1. Road number 31806656-249-3. And finally onto the last car. And this one I did have out of the box at one point in time. This is HR6520-2. Road number 31806656-849-0. And this one I have already mounted the couplers, but I will not be mounting the hooks as they foul the trucks due to their location of where they are supposed to attach. So what I'm going to quickly do off camera is attach the couplers, and then we will move on to the detail overview part of the video. Alright, now that I have the couplers attached, we can begin with the detail overview portion of the video. Starting with car 31806657-424-1. Starting at this end here, we have our connection joints right on the buffer beam for our various brake and air lines. We have solid in place buffers, and then above the buffer beam we have this walkway with steps on either side going up to the brake handle here, which is a turning type, and we have our separately fitted handrail as well. We also have a ladder going up to the top of the car with grab irons on either side right here near the top. And we also have our opening and closing mechanism for the side doors, as well as some warning labels. Now moving on to the side here, we have our steps here, and we can see the door opening and closing mechanism. We have the Deutsche Bahn AG logo here at the top. Then we have our capacity information for the car. And here we have our road number, as well as car type. Going down a bit further, we have our molded plastic trucks with some nice detailing for the brakes as well as suspension. These are quite nicely detailed. Now, moving towards the center of the car, we have two release levers here, as well as a step. And then we have our levers for opening and closing the side door, as well as we can see the mechanism here on the inside as well. Moving on to the front end of the car, we have a single step here on the side with a grab iron and the opening and closing mechanism. And again, our solid buffers. as well as our connection points for our brake and airline hoses. And moving on to the other side, again, much of the same detailing. Same release lever detailing. Looking in at the top of the car, we have our supports along the insides for our two bays, which is split and angled down the middle to allow for the flow of our load during unloading. We also have these cross beams here to help support the body of side of the car. And looking at the underside, first of all, we see that we have metal wheel sets on all four axles, and our couplers are sitting in NEM shafts, which makes for real easy coupler swapping. We also here have our air reservoir tank, as well as the connecting rods between the levers across both sides, as well as our main brake line going across the center of the car. Next we have car 31806656849-0, and again we see all of the same detailing. The only actual difference between these cars being the road number. And finally, the last car, 31806656249-3. And again, all of the same detailing other than the road number. So now we can move on to the rip track segment of the video. Alright, welcome to the rip track segment. Here we will be going over the wheel gauge of the axles on all three of these cars with the NMRA standards gauge. At this point in time, I will not be converting the couplers, as I am currently out of KD number 18 couplers, which are my preferred couplers for rolling stock. Alright, starting with car 31806657424-1, starting on the rear end of the car. Axle 1 is good, so is axle 2. Now onto the front truck. Axle 1 is good, so is axle 2. Now onto car 31806656849-0, starting at the rear. Truck, axle 1 is good, axle 2 is also good, front truck axle 1 is good, and axle 2 is also good. And finally, car 31806656249-3, rear truck axle 1 is good. Axle 2 is a little tight, but still good. Front truck axle 1 is good, and axle 2 is also good. So all 12 axles are properly aligned, which means now we can take the cars over to the track for a test run. Alright everybody, this concludes my review of the Rivarossi HO scale Fals 164 type self-unloading dump cars in the Deutsche Bahn AG brown paint scheme. All in all, they are very nice runners. They run smoothly. The couplers hooked up fairly well, though they did require a little bit of force. But that is something that will be easily changed over once I get the KD couplers that I want. That being said, for those that don't use KD couplers, that is something you may want to look out for. Aside from that, the car detailing that is on the cars is very well done. It can be a little bit fragile, but overall not too bad. The plastic on the handrails in particular I found to be quite soft. That being said, it is a great addition to this 3-pack is a great addition to my collection, and one step further to having a complete coal train. That being said, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like or a comment, and subscribe for more model railroad content. Have a great day, everybody!